Meghan Markle back in the headlines. Oh, Meghan Sussex, because that's what she says in the thing, having given a rare TV interview with Drew Barrymore. And it's all about promoting her new lifestyle show. Joining me.
I would say, having spent quite a lot of time with Meghan.
Yeah, you have.
There she is. Like, this is the Meghan I have met. I've known her since 2018. So I met her just before she got married to H. And I've been to Montecito and I've been to Frogmore and all of those things. And I've met Lilibet and Archie. And this is just who she is.
Yeah.
Like, she is a really good hostess with the mostest.
Yeah.
She's like, the first time we had lunch, she sent me this beautiful handwritten note afterwards, which I was just delighted by, because who sends handwritten notes?
You might send a wee text, but
she's
that's it.
Also, she's sort of, I always say this, they're two quite, and people kind of go, sure, Bryony, but they're two quite ordinary people in quite an extraordinary situation. Right. And whenever I'm with them, I have to kind of remind myself that I'm with the people I hear being spoken about on the news. So I just, this is who she is.
And the thing, like I said about the Netflix show, it's not for me. I watched one episode and frankly, I'm not offended in any way by it, but it's just not for me. I just thought it was a bit boring. But having said that, it's not offensive. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it.
But what I do find quite offensive is this notion of people hate watching it.
That's
so
horrible.
They can, like, snark.
Yeah, that's not nice.
I'm like, is hate watching a better way to spend your time than, I don't know, being with your bees or whatever? Or, this is...
I'd love to be with bees.
This is the thing.
Great.
Like, I find it astonishing. The vitriol levelled at Meghan is entirely disproportionate to who she is as a person. And, like she's not Vladimir Putin. She's just a mum from California.
I think people have spoken about, how they dislike the programme. But I logged into my Netflix this morning and it was the 4th top show in the UK, TV programme in the UK. So people are watching it
of course they
and
are.
engaging with it. Some people are shocked about how she can cook and keep all the white outfit completely clean.
Especially with toddlers.
Can we also talk about, I think it's so soothing to my nervous system.
I know what you mean. So the interview that she did with Drew Barrymore, does it make her more relatable? Do you think it'll change anybody's minds about her? But I always think those that love her love her, those that don't won't. That's the trouble. That's going to be the thing, isn't it?
I think realistically people have basically chosen their side already.
Yeah.
And I don't think anything she can do massively will have people swapping from one position to the other. It's really interesting to see how she grows in the interview she does. She gives a little bit more information about the children and what they're up to. And
this is who she is. And I kind of like that she's like, well, you may not like it, but I'm not going to stop being it. Like, she's not stupid. She knows that if you make a lifestyle show like this, you are going to open yourself up to all the sorts of cynical criticism which we are seeing now. But she's like, I'm going to do it anyway.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to the Sussex Ambassador channel. Today, we delve into an intriguing discourse centred on Lorraine Kelly's approach towards Meghan Markle. You can expect an insightful and honest critique of Lorraine Kelly's approach towards Meghan. Remember to subscribe to stay updated with our latest content. Lorraine Kelly, known for her relentless criticism of Meghan, recently found herself in quite an uncomfortable situation. Picture this: Lorraine hosting her own show, ready to dive into her habitual Meghan bashing. But this time, the script is flipped. Her guests, Bryony Gordon&Rishi Davda, are not here to join the usual chorus of criticism. Instead, they're here to support Meghan's recent interview on The Drew Barrymore Show, and Lorraine, quite frankly, can't handle it. We've all witnessed Lorraine's obsessive dislike of Meghan. It's a familiar tune she plays, a negative narrative that she insists on pushing. But on this particular day, Bryony and Rishi refused to dance to Lorraine's tune. They didn't join in on the Meghan bashing, instead they countered it. They called out the absurdity of the hate Meghan receives, pointing out that it smells more like petty jealousy than justified criticism. Imagine Lorraine's surprise. She's used to her guests echoing her sentiments, nodding along to her unfounded criticism. But not this time. This time, her guests stand firm. They don't just refuse to join in, they shut down Lorraine's narrative, and it's a sight to behold. Watching Lorraine squirm, visibly uncomfortable in her own show, is nothing short of hilarious. Her attempts to smear Meghan not only fall flat, they backfire spectacularly. Bryony and Rishi don't just defend Meghan. They expose Lorraine's baseless hate for what it really is. The discomfort that Lorraine feels in this moment is palpable. It's like watching a fish out of water, floundering and flustered. She's exposed, her usual narrative dismantled, and it's glorious to watch. For once, the conversation isn't dominated by baseless hate. Meghan continues to win, and Lorraine's misery is just the cherry on top. It's a brutal reality check for Lorraine, a moment of discomfort that she brought upon herself. This left Lorraine visibly flustered and exposed, a moment that was indeed glorious to witness. Now, let's delve into the root cause of the incessant criticism Meghan receives. It's a tale as old as time, yet still ever so relevant in the 21st century. The petty jealousy that fuels negativity. We see it everywhere, from Hollywood to our own homes. And sadly, it has been a major part of Meghan's narrative since she stepped into the limelight. Lorraine Kelly, a household name in the UK, is known for her relentless criticism of Meghan. Regardless of the topic at hand, Lorraine seems to find a way to insert her negative opinion about Meghan. It's as if she's made it her personal mission to tarnish Meghan's reputation at every given opportunity. But in a recent episode of her show, the tables were turned. Lorraine's guests, Bryony Gordon&Rishi Davda, refused to follow her narrative. Instead, they supported Meghan, highlighting the positive aspects of her recent appearance on the Drew Barrymore show. They called out the petty jealousy that was clearly driving Lorraine's criticism, and the criticism Meghan often receives from others. It was a breath of fresh air to witness Lorraine being called out on her own show. She was left flustered and exposed, her usual narrative disrupted. The negative rhetoric that usually dominates the conversation was replaced by a more balanced discussion. Bryony and Rishi's refusal to join in on the Meghan bashing not only took Lorraine by surprise, but it also served as a reality check for her. The message was clear. Not everyone is willing to join in on the baseless hatred. Some people can see through the petty jealousy and are willing to stand up for what's right. This incident serves as a reminder that the constant criticism Meghan faces is often rooted in petty jealousy. It's not about Meghan's actions or words, but rather about the threat she poses to the status quo. The baseless hate did not dominate the conversation for once, and that was a win for Meghan. The tide is turning, and it's about time. Meghan continues to rise above the negativity, proving that she is more than the unfair criticism she receives. Watching Lorraine squirm as her attempts to smear Meghan backfired was nothing short of hilarious. As it turns out, Lorraine's usual routine of painting Meghan in a negative light was met with a firm resistance this time around, and it was a sight to behold. Bryony Gordon&Rishi Davda, two guests on Lorraine's show, refused to join in on the usual Meghan bashing, and instead chose to stand their ground, supporting Meghan's interview on the Drew Barrymore show. But the real kicker was the way they called out the ridiculous hate Meghan receives, making it abundantly clear that the criticism is nothing more than petty jealousy. As Lorraine desperately tried to push her usual negative narrative, Bryony and Rishi stood firm, refusing to let the baseless hate dominate the conversation. The more Lorraine tried to smear Meghan, the more evident it became that her attempts were backfiring spectacularly. The usually composed Lorraine was visibly flustered and uncomfortable. It was as if she was caught off guard, not expecting her own guests to challenge her. But challenge her they did, and it was glorious to watch. There was a certain satisfaction in seeing Lorraine's attempts to smear Meghan fall flat. The tables were turned on her, and for once the narrative was not in her control. It was a brutal reality check for Lorraine, one that left her visibly uncomfortable and exposed. Bryony Gordon&Rishi Davda deserve a round of applause for their stance. They not only supported Meghan, but also called out the baseless hate and petty jealousy. They turned the tide of the conversation, and in doing so, they gave Meghan a win. Meghan continues to win, and Lorraine being miserable about it is just the cherry on top. It was a backfired attempt that resulted in a glorious win for Meghan and a reality check for Lorraine. This goes to show that no matter how much one tries to smear another person, the truth always has a way of coming out. And in this case, it came out in full force, leaving Lorraine in a state of discomfort and fluster. It is clear that Lorraine's approach towards Meghan is riddled with bias and petty jealousy. This much was made evident in her recent show where her guests, Bryony Gordon&Rishi Davda, did not play into her narrative. Instead, they stood firm, highlighting the unfair and baseless criticism that Meghan often faces. This incident serves as a stark reminder that while it's easy to get caught up in the negativity, it's essential to remember that all public figures, Meghan included, are human beings deserving of respect and fair critique. The fact that Lorraine's guests refused to join in on the Meghan bashing and instead chose to support her speaks volumes about the need for a change in the narrative. Lorraine's attempts to smear Meghan's reputation backfired spectacularly, leaving her flustered and exposed on her own show. It was a brutal reality check, a glorious moment that highlighted the importance of not allowing baseless hate to dominate the conversation. Bryony and Rishi's refusal to engage in this narrative was a powerful statement. It was a reminder that the constant criticism Meghan faces often stems from petty jealousy, rather than any valid concerns about her actions or character. Their support for Meghan was a welcome change from the usual negativity, a breath of fresh air in an often toxic environment. The incident served as a potent reminder of the importance of fair and unbiased criticism. It's easy to get swept up in the negativity, especially when it's coming from a host as influential as Lorraine. But as Bryony and Rishi demonstrated, it's crucial to stand up against this kind of bias and call it out for what it is. In conclusion, Lorraine's discomfort and the subsequent critique of her approach towards Meghan serves as a powerful reminder of the need for fair and unbiased criticism. It's a lesson that we should all take to heart, and it's one that will hopefully lead to a change in the narrative surrounding Meghan. That's all for today's critique. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to subscribe, like, and share our content with others. Before we sign off, we'd like to remind you once again to subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you'll be joining a community that values respect, diversity, and open-mindedness. We believe in the power of conversation, and we invite you to be a part of ours. And if you've enjoyed this content, why not share it with others? We're sure there are many people in your life who would appreciate this fresh perspective. By sharing, you're not just spreading the word about Sussex Ambassador, you're also helping to challenge the narrative, foster understanding, and encourage dialogue. Don't forget to hit the like button too. Your likes help us understand what content resonates with you, allowing us to tailor our future videos to your interests. And of course, they also show your support for Meghan and for the fair treatment of celebrities in the media. As we look ahead, we're excited to bring you more engaging content. We'll continue to follow Meghan's journey, and we'll be here to provide analysis, commentary, and a bit of fun along the way. Whether it's a candid interview, a charitable initiative, or a stylish fashion moment, you can count on us to deliver the highlights. We also encourage you to leave a comment, share your thoughts, or suggest a topic for future videos. Remember, this channel is not just about us, it's about you too. We value your input and look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Goodbye from Sussex Ambassador.